Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington was the lead vocalist of Linkin Park, the acclaimed nu metal band known for tracks like In the End and Numb. Bennington's openness about his personal experience with depression and substance use deeply resonated with millions of fans who connected with the band's raw sound and the vulnerability of their lyrics. Tragically, these issues led Bennington to take his own life in 2017 at the age of 41.
When we made Hybrid Theory, it was like, we don't care, we are making the music and we don't care about what you've observed somebody else do in your career. You didn't make anything. Why are you in here telling us how to make something?
His death led to an outpouring of support for the band and increased awareness of mental health issues. A few months after his passing, thousands gathered for a tribute concert at the Hollywood Bowl, which featured performances from numerous other bands, including Blink-182 and System of a Down. Tupac Shakur.
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing hoochie screaming.
Regarded as one of the greatest rappers ever, Tupac Shakur rose from the West Coast hip-hop scene in the early 90s to become a cultural icon. His ability to blend catchy productions with socially conscious lyrics helped shine a light on the realities of the African-American experience.
Say they ready for the funk, but I don't think they know it. Straight to the depths of hell is where them cowards going.
Shakur's life was, however, cut short in 1996 when he was ambushed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. His murder was upsetting, not only because he was only 25 with a promising career ahead, but also because it took away a voice that was important to so many.
And as long as I stay black, I got a stage strap, and I never get to lay back, cause I always got to worry about the payback.
Even worse, the circumstances surrounding his death raised questions that remained unanswered for many years. It wasn't until 2023 that a suspect was arrested. Selena. Known as the Queen of Tejano music, Selena Quintanilla Perez is recognized as one of the greatest Latino artists of all time, even though she only lived 23 years. In 1994, she made history as the first female Tejano artist to win a Grammy for Best Mexican American Album.
I also like to thank my band, Los Dinos, my father, Abraham, my brother, who's a producer of my music, and also my sister. Thank you for all the support.
But just 1 year later, Selena was shot by Yolanda Saldivar, the president of her fan club turned business partner. This occurred after Selena accused Saldivar of stealing money from her.
But they want to know why you killed her.
I won't discuss that.
Saldivar was later sentenced to life in prison for the murder. Following Selena's death, fans held vigils and ceremonies in her honor, and then Governor of Texas George W. Bush declared her birthday, April 16th, Selena Day, recognizing her as a symbol of South Texas culture. Kurt Cobain.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
Few musicians have defined a genre and a moment in time as profoundly as Nirvana and its frontman, Kurt Cobain. Although he died at just 27, Cobain left a permanent mark on rock music, ushering in the grunge scene and ending the big hair era that dominated mainstream rock in the 1980s. With hits like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Heart-Shaped Box, Cobain's music signified a changing of the guard in American art and culture. Tragically, he dealt with mental illness, chronic pain, and drug dependency, culminating in him taking his own life in 1994. Even years after his death, Cobain's impact remains apparent, with countless artists, from Lana Del Rey to Rivers Cuomo, citing him as a major inspiration. Amy Winehouse.
We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times.
Throughout her career, British singer-songwriter Amy Winehouse captivated both fans and gossip tabloids. Her personal life was at the center of her music, with her soulful voice exploring everything from heartbreak to substance use on tracks like Back to Black and Rehab.
Just try to make me go to rehab. I go.
Winehouse dealt with alcohol dependency for much of the time she was in the public eye, and the constant media scrutiny only made her recovery efforts more challenging.
I guess people know that I don't really do what I'm told to do, or that I don't really care enough about what people think of me to conform to anything.
She was reported to have been making progress in recovering, which sparked hope among her fans. But those hopes were dashed in July 2011 when her relapse ultimately led to her untimely death at 27. Over a decade after her passing, Winehouse's music and story continue to resonate with audiences worldwide.
I cheated myself like I knew I would.
Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye, yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry.
It was the day the music died. The loss of one beloved artist is always heartbreaking, but the sudden death of three young, popular musicians is unfathomable. That was exactly what happened in 1959, when Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson, all died in a plane crash.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down.
The three musicians had chartered a small plane to reach their next stop on their grueling winter tour through the Midwest, but poor weather conditions resulted in the crash, which claimed all lives on board. Their deaths sent shockwaves throughout the music world, leaving millions of young rock and roll fans devastated. The tragedy was immortalized in Don McLean's 1971 song, American Pie.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Elvis Presley.
You ain't nothing but
Elvis Presley changed American culture. By taking rock and roll sounds developed by African American artists and introducing them to white audiences, Presley challenged conventions and cultural standards. To older generations, his on-stage behavior was aggressive and explicit, but for young listeners, he was hypnotically rhythmic and enchanting, ushering in a new era of American culture, expression, and art.
oh, I want that sun up here.
Over his career, he tallied 18 #1 hits and sold around 500 million records. However, the demands of his career took a toll on his health, leading to his sudden death at the age of 42. Even decades later, there are few artists who can claim to have reached the same heights as the king of rock and roll.
We can go on together with suspicious minds.
Freddie Mercury. It's no exaggeration to call Freddie Mercury one of the greatest singers in the history of rock music, or any genre for that matter. Mercury's legendary voice propelled the British band Queen to global fame in the 70s and 80s. Eclectic tracks like Bohemian Rhapsody pushed the limits of mainstream music, while iconic anthems like We Will Rock You became staples in sports venues. Tragically, Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS in the late 1980s, which led to his untimely death in 1991 at the age of 45. However, this diagnosis wasn't publicly confirmed until a day before his passing. The sudden revelation, followed immediately by his death, left many in utter disbelief, as they hadn't fully realized just how severe his condition was.
So you think you can stop me and spit my eye?
Michael Jackson.
When I had you to myself, I don't want you around.
Michael Jackson's life was dedicated to music. He was just a child when he became the lead vocalist of the Jackson 5, sparking a career that would garner him 13 Grammy Awards and sales amounting to over 500 million. But the king of pop was no stranger to controversy.
It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
He was often involved in scandals stemming from his appearance, behavior, and allegations of misconduct with minors. In 2009, while preparing for a highly anticipated comeback tour, Jackson died from an overdose of sleep medication. The news of his death came as a major blow to fans around the world and even caused many websites to crash. It is estimated that up to 3 billion people tuned in to watch his memorial service.
We are the world. We are the children.
John Lennon.
Help. I need somebody. Help. Not just anybody. Help.
As one of the founding members of the Beatles, John Lennon rose to unprecedented levels of fame in the 1960s. The band's catchy melodies spread like wildfire through the new systems of mass communication in the post-war Western world, making him and his bandmates household names.
Don't let me down.
After leaving the Beatles in 1969, Lennon embarked on a successful solo career, using his celebrity status to draw attention to a number of social causes. His life was, however, tragically ended when he was shot and killed while walking into his apartment building in New York City. Following his murder, thousands of fans across the world honored his life by observing 10 minutes of silence, an event organized by Lennon's wife, Yoko Ono.
Imagine all the people.
Which of these musicians made the largest impact on your life? Also let us know which artists we missed down in the comments.
Well, don't make me close one more door.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.